I've wanted to make a video like this for a while and talk about what I see here in red China, and I want to call it red China because it's very red in color. And I want to talk about the red billboards and red signs of the Chinese Communist Party that are all over the place. And they are instructions for the people of the country to follow. They are instructions about how people should act towards each other, and how they should implement the conclusions made and passed down by the latest Council of the Chinese Communist Party. This last one was 2 years ago in 2022, the 20th. I forgot the specific name, but it's like National Council of the Chinese Communist Party. And also to follow Xi Jinping thought and comprehensively understand and enact Xi Jinping thought on all sorts of different issues. So, there's quite a lot of these red billboards like this that I'm talking about. Many of them have a yellow hammer and sickle on the left side, and there's either white or yellow text, and in Chinese. And it's a reminder in the background of everyday life to follow the party and to follow a very small group of people into the future. So, coming from the United States, where we hate our politicians and government a lot, and sometimes maybe it makes the country stronger because it makes the conversation stronger. This place is much different. There's one party, and their propaganda in these red posters is seen in the background of everyday life. And I imagine it gets into the subconscious of Chinese people going about their day, working in industry or working in shops or restaurants, or doing whatever kind of work or study or whatever they're doing. And it really does, in a certain sense, it reminds me of Jim Jones, when Jim Jones established Jonestown for the followers of his new religious movement, the followers of his cult. And he had his own voice blaring on loudspeakers all day long. That's not going on to that kind of extreme here, but the kind of ubiquitous messaging of the Chinese Communist Party in these red banners is as pervasive as that sort of a thing. There's definitely a national unity that inspires in a way that the United States doesn't have. Like I said, the United States is, often hates its government or half of its government because of partisanship in the basically two-party system. But here there are all sorts of opportunities on various levels for people to get involved in building a 新时, new era, or no new time, as defined by Xi Jinping thought and the Chinese Communist Party. To me, it is outstandingly organized that such a small group of people can hold reign over 1.4 billion Chinese. I've been told that on the ground floor, there's pretty much a consensus here in China that the United States created coronavirus, COVID-19, or that it even started in the United States. Those seem to be the two versions of the theory that are socially allowed here. While as in the United States, the two versions of the theory are it started in Wuhan, China, in a wet market, or it started in Wuhan lab and it was a leak. So both countries blame each other. And that seems to be the mainstream, though there are plenty of people in America who, from the beginning, knew or suspected that America had its hand in its creation. So that right there is ingredients for a world war or a major conflict, if anyone even remembers what the pandemic was. But since I'm trying to cover religion more so than geopolitics, although the geopolitics does matter, and I'm interested in how World War III will affect religious practice and relationships between religions. I think that something about the tight restrictions put on religion here in China by the Communist Party of China since they move so much to restrict practices, I think they're playing in the game of religion. They're occupying the space of religion, and in that sense already that makes them a religion. Marxism, but specifically what it's officially called, socialism with Chinese characteristics. Communist Party, materialism, officially atheist. But socialism with Chinese characteristics is a huge movement, but a new religious movement in some sense, and one that I want to really be careful in what I say about it, especially when I'm here in China still. The Chinese Communist Party recognizes 5 religions: Buddhism, Taoism, Islam, Protestantism, and Catholicism. So Christianity gets 2. However, the more it restricts the free expression of the other ones, the more it's presenting itself as the 6th religion. I think after seeing this for 3 weeks now, and I've got about 1 week left to go, I'll be excited to see this from the outside and reflect on what I've seen here in China. Red China, very red China. There's still so much I don't understand about China and Chinese, though. I've been studying Mandarin Chinese for half my life, 17 years. And it's still so hard for me to understand. And I definitely don't understand cultural nuance in many situations. Right now, there is some kind of series of meetings going on downstairs at the 2nd floor of this hotel. And a few days ago, there was a Communist Party style red sign out there that was talking about training sessions for Xinshi, for the new era, the new time of the Chinese Communist Party, specifically for teachers. And there's been a lot of people down there every day. Some of them middle-aged, some of them elderly. And I don't know quite what it is. I've been curious about it. I've gone past there and tried to see if I could figure out what was going on, but I really don't understand these training sessions for Xinshi. I really wish I knew, because I think it would give me a great insight into what is going on in modern China. What is Chinese? What is socialism with Chinese characteristics, and how does it indoctrinate and train people on every level? This is a study that I feel like I need to take a break from, because immersion in it hurts my brain. I'm not the absolute greatest second language learner. And in situations like this, I really feel like I'm not naturally skilled at learning languages, because Chinese hurts my brain. And I know that it's listed as one of the hardest, if not the hardest, languages to learn for a native English speaker. But I've been trying at this for 17 years. I want to know what they're training people with and how, and what the organizational structure is like, what the hierarchical structure is like. Because that is going to be something that continues to spread throughout the world from China.